different platform. TV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make salute.
We are all able for interact, understand, and get the information as it is. As always, I know me as Samuel Wise Bangura, and we bring people them. I have for help push shape with conversation so that at the end of the day, at the heart of everything, we want Salon to be peaceful, stable, and make we enjoy with democracy where we try for advance. And with me inside the studio this morning, I get the chairman for the National Council for Civic Education, Development and Democracy, Kalilu Tutange. Good morning and welcome to this special elections coverage.
Thank you, Samuel. When I'm money, and when I don't do well, this crew talk out now. We go for talk, baby.
Thank you. All right, make we start. So firstly, we still say the elections. The day itself don't pass. We people go out for cast and ballots, and before then we see some rise in tensions. After we still see skirmishes of tensions. And as we await the announcement of the results, we know Italy they go on at the regional offices of the Electoral Commission, and we don't bring all of those tallying process across the country to salon people for see and watch how it don't happen. Now, at this crucial and critical point in with democracy, waiting for me we focus.
Well, thank you very much, Samuel. You don't lay the ground out for understand them, but first off, I want for congratulate me countrymen them. And I want to also congratulate my country for what we achieve so that Saturday day. And we know say as the election when they can close, like I said, say some tension them in the camp. We will all be the free say something bad go happen, some things go happen, some man in the same tension. But at the end of the day, by the grace of God, Sierra Leoneans them, they show themselves as people then we peace loving, we like the country, we don't addict to this issue of democracy. And I want to tell we all thank you, may God bless you for what you do so for our country. The other people then I want to even congratulate the security forces. They do extremely very well. They are spread thin because just imagine the number of the way they for this whole country over 3 million people and they vote that day all across this country, and they able, any incident, they even fire tear gas any side, and that's not a commendable thing in the way they do. We also want to commend the Ecsl and all of the partners that will support them, thus far, including the media and the civil society groups that they monitor the election. So far, we all don't do well. I mean, I talked to one friend yesterday, we know the companies monitoring business. Is you people, you surprise us so. How? Because when we were coming, we were thinking that there was going to be a lot of problem.
Right.
But there was no problem. In fact, they don't begin go back yesterday. As far as they're concerned, we see they see it very well, a make a country stand out. The one side of we left, nine of these challenge to the national returning officer, the CEC, a called the result. And what I want to talk to me people that already the political leaders them in the communities them. Men they stop for the say things them only for satisfy their supporters and inflame the situation. This country don't need that at all. We don't pass the threshold. We don't pass everybody. They look at you now with admiration. So the CEC in team do ya. We're gonna try as much as possible. We're gonna do this thing in a timely way, so that the results will come out, so that the country, the tension will reduce. And we in leadership, people they look up to we. We say we must choose because there is this new controversy about projecting, no projecting. Yesterday, the CEC, they talked to me yesterday, Bitumani and he explains it. 8 people they sit down, then they key in this data. So we're not going to say we want to get 8 screens there projected. No, it's not possible. Which way you are? Nobody will get 16 eyes there. For look at 8 screens there. So let us make it see as much as possible. Make sure say the election Ecsl. Make sure say the representatives there where they see what they go on. there is no, I'm not going to say there's no requirement say them for project, no project. But many people they're able for eyeball waiting to go on so that they're able for reports to the parties they represent.
The process can scale.
Exactly. So CEC now in your responsibility and for make sure say as close as possible where the observers and go do, where the monitors and go do, where they're not going to interrupt the process, men and do. But do at the baby brother and sister they already and the political party there, what they call a projection, not a requirement. We do not tell people they say if they no project, they no for count. Because they say SFPP satisfied, APC satisfied. No, they don't. We don't have to satisfy them. This is the citizens' process. If the law says so, make the law worker the worker. We don't have to satisfy no political party. So therefore, let us get that in mind. Many the political parties then get that in mind. Say, now law, now in the worker with this tier. Make Ecsl also know say, now the same law, now in the worker with. Many they know say they get their own obligations to the people of Sierra Leone. Many political parties also know say they get their own responsibility and obligation to the people of Sierra Leone. So more dwell within the law for means by God in power, we go command the gist now. Then this whole thing go down, and I hope say Sierra Leoneans there because this one even the American ambassador talk yesterday. He say a worker all side, a one for congratulate you. You go look you this about talk the same thing. All man they congratulate you. They are more no mass food, but this congratulations. May go to ya.
All right. Just quickly, we see Usai again. Unscrupulous Sierra Leoneans, they don't go ahead for Doctor the front page of the Africa Young Voices Media Empire newspaper today, saying that AYV newspaper published that the Interreligious Council don't congratulate Dr. Samuel Kamara for winning the 2023 presidential election. Well, one for make a very clear, say that in a lie. AYV not published that day. The Interreligious Council not give AYV that news day. So then they not to form AYV come at all. And from them, bad people. So now the issue is all they talk about fake news, misinformation, disinformation. People deliberately they use credible platforms for ensure say they discredit and bring the people reputation into disrepute. And then they we the fight against. So now we always tell you say ensure say you read them at the AYV website, so you can get at www.ayvnews.com. Watch them on AYV television. We get 3 channels: channel 34, channel 399 on DSTV, channel 33. We get a single radio frequency. We get nationwide. That's a 101.7 FM, and we get social media platforms and also we put out information. So ensure that you cross-check any information you see from AYV. Now all of them platforms here for be sure. Yeah, please. And a note from we. And so I received a call from the Secretary General of the Interreligious Council this morning, and I explained to her and clearly say that is not from us. So we also make it very clear to Salon people and say that is not from we. Please, it's been doctored. The aim is so clear, and we no one for being part of any agenda. We the agenda the peace of this country, please. Yeah. So quick one. We want for going a quick rundown of waiting they come up today. So at 10 a.m. we will come live from Bintumani with the press conference from the Political Parties Regulation Commission. They get a press conference at 10 this morning. Now Bintumani will sign at the command center for the elections, and also we will bring you interviews from the Peace Commission, especially the Executive Secretary, Madam Awas Samai. We hope for bring that day, and of course, Reverend Johnson and the Human Rights Commission, either Victor Lansana or Nasrin Nadema at midday. So we want for going to run out. So you stay glued with waiting there for happen throughout the day with our coverage. And of course, the ECL press conference is expected at 2 p.m. today, and that also will come from Bintumani. There's also the joint AU-ECOWAS press conference, we would expect for come up at 4 p.m. for giving preliminary findings of the observation, the monitoring we then do throughout polling day. And then they will be done but within our rallies in blue, yeah. And of course, we get to normal programs that we get for the camera throughout the day for analyze, for bring you things the way they happen. Please keep that. Now, Mr. Chairman, as you don't talk to your salon people, we want to assist them for ensure say they're able to keep this trajectory, this peaceful trajectory where we don't go through polling day and now the aftermath. But also, like you mentioned, there's this cliche. Delay is dangerous. Now, and at some point, the Chief Electoral Commissioner, we double as a National Returning Officer, been talk and say, we want to expedite the process of announcement of results so that the process will be credible, fair, and people will get trust and confidence. Now, how crucial can they be, especially as people are anticipating now the suicide and the fake newspaper front page all now say, oh, this institution don't declare, don't congratulate this and all of that.
Yeah, and mischief because a long time ago, they tell we say they go one for do as expeditiously as possible, but they will give you a 2-week deadline. So in a public conversation with one of the commissioners, that 2 week day long, they say we say but one for day on the safe side. We don't go say they do inside 2 days. 2 days can we not do it. It could be more than euros. Right. So then give themselves a buffer, they give themselves a cushion. But then don't actually yesterday say even yesterday journalists and the ask say many with the Google provisional result. Yeah, the man said, but they don't begin and not even reach 10% it. So at some point, with the also today, for instance, it will give you all the provisional result, at least for the presidential. Because the big one and then I get detention. If we give you some numbers then, give you some idea, that will help for bring down the tension small, and we'll all go able for go forward. And one thing we I want for note, especially to political leaders them. Now a privilege some of we they enjoy for them and then position so all day. You know, not nobody is right. The only thing we get to now are citizens there. So if any one of we able for team up for position, because when they say MP, out of 7 million people there, now only 135 and get for B.
Right.
When they say president, now 1 day no more B. When they say judges, they never reach 200. So when God don't give you some small opportunity for them at the places the whole day on behalf of the nation, more of you is a privilege. And when they give privilege, you get some type of return, rights and responsibilities. You must be careful of what you would say. More be careful of what you would do, or even not allow the one away for lead, for control. Because the incident, for instance, yesterday we happened at the APC office, it was very unnecessary and unfortunate. It just makes no more unnecessary tension that will risk the life of young people. When they say they get a mama, they get a papa, or they even get a young bikini, where they get for take care of. Let us be sincere as leaders. When we lead people, the more we lead them to the path of truth. More no go follow shonko because of politics and begin the life for them and create problem in this country. This country don't need no problem. All we need now for me this whole thing of election done, more focus on what we need for do, for feed with people them, for educating with picking them, and make sure say we get help as individuals there, as a nation. Now there no more progress day. And all about young people them. Do you a young man, young woman, when not allowing ourselves to become pawns in this game of politics. Politics, when they use it as pawn, you're just a loser. We not allow that.
So quickly, we graphics team soon go display on the screen. We AYV original newspaper versus the doctor one, so that Salon people will see that day. And we production team really they work on that day right now. And pretty soon we'll get them on the screen for make we all see what's in the happen, because we know how fake news can go viral at this country and people tend for believer. But as you talk about the attitude of our politicians, especially the leaders, you know, as we try as hard as possible for guide and guard with peace where we get in this country. Now, just after the elections, when we know say the only competent authority for announce results or declare winners now the Electoral Commission Salon, we don't see political parties and they claim victim. Mm-hmm. Now, how critical that is to the maintenance of peace? Because if Party Green they declare say, oh, we don't win. Party Red they declare say, oh, we don't win. Then at the end of the day, we definitely know say one of the two presidential candidates in will be declared winner. But if the two parties don't declare themselves winners, then when the ECSA come out with that one person with Salon people don't vote as the president, what would that mean for the peace of this country?
You know, we were doing inside this video. One thing we don't ask the police, the ONS and the security forces for do. Or to them, party them, we get a feeling saying and they get win and then the country, may they not allow them for kind of treat. When I go to SFP office, may all man inside your office, may they not kind of treat. When I go to APC office, may we not allow anybody for kind of treat. Now, we all know it's illegal for me somebody to declare a winner by election. If somebody do that it don't break the law. We don't know how law enforcement and the judiciary will deal with that matter. But a matter that way for take seriously and make sure say then punish whoever do that, because what that person they do that for a deliberate effort for disrupt the peace of the nation, and nobody will stand by that one. The other one, the minions, and the small one, they use for go dance. So, hey, when I can't shoot, when I can't dance, that one, then they say, they go for be cautious. And for guide them, me don't believe this mass arrest where police can do, I not believe in them. Me believe, say, before time, make police take action and go make sure say then two party office there. Make them make sure say nobody not come on and skip and rank business day.
Right.
If they do that, it's preemptive. Better than for go catch all my own and not get shot for them, go lock them some side where they not even hear them case for many years. And that too not an issue. So they are at the call on the IG and the ONS and everybody involved when I deploy enough security forces and then two party office there. Make sure say any animal who's at party office there in this country here. Make sure say nobody not come on and treat with ranka. If you don't do ranka, may say in party office, it do and they to themselves, we don't care about that day. But men not occupy the public space when at the street for bring ranka. The security not allow that.
So, so on a normal day, when, for example, the Civic Council, we know the focus is, raising that consciousness, that awareness, and love for country, so that everybody play your role, uphold your civic responsibility for make saloon. And we always on the most times pay attention to the ordinary salon people that, hey, you want to get role for play.
Yeah.
This is not to just government no more. But this is where leadership comes in. So we always on the say, even the one that are governments, they are products of society.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we then devise a strategy? Also, we'll get everybody for truly understand, say, some may want for be president, some may don't really contest, or one for be member of parliament. But then at the heart of that, it's saloon, the interest na saloon. So whether I want to achieve my own personal interest, but then I for change or build saloon, and not put my own personal interest, say, at least I don't care about saloon, I want to get us. Deal with all of those issues.
The next stand they will able for build it. We can lose the time one for being the only man in the room. Why is that possible? In a session of 7 million people, why you want me for be the man in the room? You understand? This is something, and when it comes to the issue of governance and building a nation, for instance, it's a collective effort. If I don't hear the president in the talk and society say, he want to be able to build this country. Nobody, no individual, or no single political party able to build this country. You understand? Or no single tribe, or no single region. This is a collective effort. You know, one thing, at least more than America, Samuel, I like the people in their business. When it comes to their country, the most conservative or the most liberal, then they agree when it comes to their country. You understand? Yes, they criticize their country, but to an extent say they go sell their country. They don't do it. Yeah. And that is a mark of progress. And that is why I actually want to congratulate this government with bring on this issue of civic education. Education, not a one day no more, you see the fruit. But look at this, they can force them and say, hey, they click button, they click button, they got for do this, they got for do that. No. But when we came, we were supposed to hear people, we laser focus on them. Samuel, I was so proud on the Friday, and the food parade, and the people as a food parade. I took out 1,000 of them over there. They dedicated themselves. They are not going to be dogs of war for anybody anymore. So the process is slow, but the effects are everlasting. More no give up on ourselves as a country.
So at this point, what should be the focus? Just quickly before we take a quick break, what should be the focus? Again, I asked this question when we start simply because I feel like us as a people, us as a nation, this is the time we have to show the world that we're serious. We've grown past the personal interest, and now we want to see Salon be projected and propagated at a point where Salon to compete and be seen as a model even within the continent.
Yes, sir.
How do we do that?
Well, see, country first. You know, let's look at the way we learn political party. So they can get some right to. You understand?
Yeah.
We therefore just look at the country first. May all man relax. Today on Monday, without for dinner office, not on holiday. Go on your job. Go do your job for goodness sake. Allow the one the way they get their own job. ECSA is doing connect. Is being paid by this nation. He's doing that. Let them do their own job. Yeah, you go to the office, go do your job. You know they sell for the market, go do it for the market. Then they take with the beginning. The only thing we are going to say, ECSL for try as much as possible for do this thing expeditiously. We don't want men then continue for the life, but when people that had the many community and they get conflict, maybe they get conflict, whether they be eating the same pot that they get conflict. We don't want that to continue. At the end of the day, we all go for comeback. And the last 5 years, that's the mistake we do. We have been politicking for the last 5 years. How can a country live like that? How can any progress happen? Every day in our politics. Every day in our politics. Everything in our politics. We say progress go come out. Let us focus on building our nation. Do you have Mr. Corner? If you're watching me on this TV, whatever you can do, expeditionally, you and your team, do you want to pull you on this cliffhanger? We don't want to dip on this cliffhanger. We at least work hard and give you the presidency result as soon as possible. Today, tomorrow, it go fine. So that we will continue with your own life. They will come in now, will accept it as they come. But as most the presidency do you want to pull up on this and that, many by them come back, maybe friend government and come back, many politics not present. May all man do together more work for the future of this country. Do you want to try for me?
All right. This now the special elections coverage when it comes to you live from AYV television and radio, and of course on all with different social media platforms. We look at this is the aftermath of polling day. We went to the polls, I think, 2 days ago as a country on Saturday, and we had the opportunity. We voted for who we want to be the president of this country, who that then we want for be members of parliament, the one that we want for be councillors, who that we want for be mayors of different cities and chairpersons of different district councils. So we did discuss here this morning at with the chairman for NACSID, and we're discussing the responsibility, the civic responsibility of every Sierra Leonean, be you layman or be you one we carry all affluence or influence in the political landscape. So people that we consider for be the leading light within the political landscape, we also target them for ensure we at the heart of all of these things, along remain peaceful, remain stable, continue for work in that path of development and changing the narrative when them bad things we then we don't know we for how we make them good. And this is not AYV television. Let we quickly take a break. We come right back and continue with the conversation as we get for link with remind them now the command center inside Bintumani now Aberdeen.
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
With Talking Points platform, you can dive into thought-provoking discussions, connect with like-minded individuals, and broaden your horizons. Be among the first to know the latest happenings in Sierra Leone. Join us today, subscribe, on YouTube, TPP Leone. Like our page, on Facebook, at Talking Points platform. It's your voice, you are in control. We believe in you. Subscribe now. Like our page. We love you.
Invite a friend challenge now. Invite 3 or more family members and friends in America to register and use TransferPay online money transfer. You know me. I'm Sammy Wise Bangura and I'm participating in this campaign to help 100% Sierra Leonean business grow. My friends and fans, when we're meeting cash from the US, please use TransferPay online money transfer. So we make sending money home from America 0 transfer fees with the best exchange rate. What are you waiting for? It's fast, easy, secure, and convenient to use the platform. Hey you. Yes, you in the United Kingdom. I bring you exciting news. Over 10,000 plus Sierra Leoneans have benefited since TransferPay launched its money transfer service in the US. TransferPay is now in the UK. You know what we offer? We are in every district across Sierra Leone, so receivers can instantly and conveniently receive their remittances. You can collect your remittances in leones or in dollars. For those of you collecting in leones, it's a zero transfer. For those of you who would want to collect in dollars, it's the lowest transfer fee ever. Enjoy the best exchange rate with TransferPay. More exciting is that you can receive in cash from any of the Ishmael FX pickup points across the country or their head office at 34 Regent Road, People's Pharmacy Building. You can also receive your remittances through mobile wallet and your bank accounts. TransferPay is fast, reliable, and user-friendly. To enjoy all the goodies, register now on www.transferpay.co.uk or download the app on Google Play Store and App Store.
Welcome to Chicken Town, where the food is nice and the vibe is right. Let your hair down, relax, and treat yourself to a piece of chicken from just 15,000 leones. For you early risers, start your day with a delicious breakfast at our Charlotte Street branch. We also deliver. Call 074 800 700 or 080 600 700 to order a delivery straight to your door. Chicken Town at 15 Charlotte Street and 39 Old Railway Line, Freetown. Sweet you mort, sweet you life.
Forthcoming elections will be free, fair, and peaceful.
I'm Anthony Navo Jr. I am the CEO of the Africa Young Voices Media. We run 3 television channels, which is channel 3334 and DSTV channel 399. I'm also a youth ambassador. I'm a mentor to a lot of young people in this country. So our role is to provide the platform to different stakeholders, but also keep a balanced media so that you give everyone opportunity, every other stakeholders in elections, especially the political parties, but also the electoral commissions and observers, international agencies, to ensure we have a peaceful, free, and fair election. I want to assure the public that the Africa Young Voices, as the most balanced and the biggest media in Sierra Leone, will continue to provide that platform for our people, for Sierra Leoneans. But I also want to advise young people out there, don't go out there and cause any problems. Be peaceful, law-abiding. Elections day, go there and vote. Vote safely. Go home safely. Wait for the results. Please, 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 please refrain from violence.
I am Elaine Keister, the CEO of Rooms International SL Limited, CEO founder, of course, of Liam Rooms Foundation, and the host for Elaine Keister, the Real Talk Show. This one I want to kind of create because I want to talk to meet people them. For we the entertainers, of course, we not public figures them. We get fans that we follow we. So anything we tell somebody for do 90 do. So this regard to all the entertainers. As far as I'm concerned, I feel like for see we for able for use we voice for talk to the youths them. Uda dipan kata kata, now for bring problem. We for able for talk to them and make peace reign. Because at the end of the day, you within a community, learn for educate people them. That's another way. Especially now where we decline to the elections, where they understand that violence is not the way. Let peace reign, and of course you can be whoever you want to be. Basically, for me, nothing, no violence. What's that they mean? We don't want any problem. I want to talk to all man alone. Let this election be peaceful. All you need for doing for use your vote wisely. You understand? You don't need for fight, you don't need for argue. Let your vote speak for you. Because salon, we not get no science for go. This time we all salon. Some people don't get choices, but the majority, the masses, will not get no choice. So if I bring problem at salon, then definitely USA will go on go. This time we own salon. So I feel so we all for come together and make sure say peace reign. Like I say again, use your vote for speak for you. Nobody no need for no. Whether you vote for what you do, just make sure say you spread love to everybody else. For me, I feel like for say salon, we all for the in one love, on one heart. It's one Sierra Leone. Thank you.
All right, welcome back. And I want for make we truly tell we people and thank you within the follow we. Then the follow we fervently and we see them plenty already. We get hundreds of messages on we Facebook page. And we'll go see the one that we will go able for read, the one that we they speak to the issues, the one that we know they create or incite Wahala na this we beloved country, the one that we they ask genuine questions, we will go through some of them. Yeah, and just ensure so you continue for interact with we. And if there is any clarification you need, a wife is here to help you get the clarification where you need on issues happening around the elections, especially post-polling day. I still get with me Kalilu Tutange from NACSID. He's the chairman, and we've been talking about waiting need for be done at this point as we are waiting the announcement of results. And now we don't call on the National Returning Officer for at least good provisional announcement of the presidential results, just to calm down nerves, because we know how, people are waiting in bated breath. People are anticipating these results for no whose side and stand. Because if you go on social media now, you see red they declare themselves, green they declare themselves, and then they all know they all go well. Whose side people and they tell different things. But Mr. Chairman, first off, let's go back to polling day. How did it go? What did you assess as a person when perhaps you move around or getting calls, get a team to understand and monitor how the process be then go in terms of fairness, in terms of transparency, in terms of instilling credibility in the entire process? So at the end of the day, whatever results that will be announced will be accepted.
I mean, I'm really proud of the way we comport ourselves as Hellenians. You know, I go when me vote na the Patricia, I go na number 2 river. I'll come on now from number 2 river. All of the polling centers the way there from number 2 river. Take Karishna, Eastern Police na I visit all. I come out, I pass back na this Padema Road. Till I go up his station, till to the tennis court. I visit them places in the polling center and 12 polling stations in the day. Right. So I saw citizens organizing themselves. Can you imagine 12 lines then? Inside 12, the only line will belong to more than that K line. Outside the command, and they crew man outside and they made the only line be too long. Passing up for quarter and then pass. So yes, I really feel good as a Sierra Leone, especially we have been in the midst of foreigners then, where the chair for observe we election. Then they say nobody no pitch by income himself. Nobody no pinch income himself. Contrary to what I be the two that we don't say. So I'm really proud of my people them. Really. I'm really proud as a civic leader. I'm really proud of the way people them comport themselves. But the problem was still they get persistent. Now we were political leaders then. Then they go consumer and say, we put this other person in there, then they go take this other person. You know, we don't need person on this tier. Let us get focused. The counting has been done. The tallying is going on. Let us keep our eyes on the ball. More no call. No, we don't need the crowd self again. We as leaders and I will go now and make sure say Mr. Corner do the right thing. Right. We don't not call the ordinary Monday again. What they don't do for Una as a political leader? They don't vote for Una. Una make sure say that them vote they account by looking at what is going on. Do you have more no incite nothing? The content be done. We all know from what's in the more common at the polling, but 9 days. Whether they transmit and electronically or they do it paperly, now the same number for come out. More wait for that number. And at the still they call on Mr. Corner. You and you will command them. If it's possible, say may do it today. 110. Do them all thing. More come up on the powder cage. And you, Mr. ONS man, I don't call him man. Mr. Abla Koka, you and you CDS, you and you IGP, when I put on a man, when I say men go beat possible, men are they on the ready. Men I make sure say when they celebrate in a party office day, if the APC office or an SFB office, the only thing we go allow them for Komon-Tok for celebrate. Now that's how we don't call it a result. Right. But for now, may nobody may all man day no more in your bunker. Where the man ready for we, you go make sure so all Komon-Tok, whether one dance, but do that angry, that pot cover team will not want and the next will coupon that pot cover team. Yeah, will not bring a car.
The question with plenty of people on there, including myself. Now, what's in Safu mean? But plenty of people go. I mean, the incontrovertible thing that Safu we can say, it means say you get for be peaceful, you get for be relaxed, you get for be easy, and all of them things that they.
No, so, I think Mr. Connie, I don't know, the young man, but a pull up on the backlist man. First thing inside me that in car, if you get this thing, drive Safu like a man. Where reach you go put money now. So then I don't pull on that Safu.
All right, but continue for stay with you quickly. For people where they watch me. Now, and the one that they listen to, we on we screen right now, we display the AYV newspaper. Both the original we publish and the fake. We want to now on the screen, please. The AYV newspaper. So now this is now the hard copy where we print. This is the hard copy of the Africa Young Voices newspaper. Now, outside and doctor, we then say Interreligious Council. Interreligious Council congratulates President-elect Dr. Samora Kamara. Now, you see the printed paper, yeah? The printed paper, the original publication or original print reads, this election will be one of the best ever conducted in Sierra Leone. And that's a statement where we quote the ECSL's Chief Electoral Commissioner and National Returning Officer, Mohamed Kenewi Kone, as he assured Sierra Leonean of having the best ever election conducted in this country. Then that didn't go pull. Then we bad people them for we want for create problem that thing didn't go pull. Then put say Interreligious Council congratulates President-elect Dr. Samora Kamara. So we also deliberately refuse for even bring the results them we then don't pay after counting to UNA because we know how people can twist and people go say just now AYV self don't declare party A or party B winner in the presidential election. And make we refuse. We they wait on the results that they come out from NEC, the ECSL when they announce. We they bring that them to UNA. So what you want for do for make UNA believe in the process. We go get for cash very soon display the graphics we don't build so that as we get the results from NEC, and so we populate that graphics they for now. So we see how the results then they come out, whether not from the north, from the south, whether not from the west, or from the east. We know so we get 5 regions in the northwest. So we want to bring all of that to now, and from all 16 districts, we bring come to now how the voting they go based on how we get the results from NEC, because now the only competent authority mandated by the constitution of this country for announced elections results. So do ya, if you want to verify anything, we get the platforms that we don't announce. That particular headline day, that newspaper front page carry say the Interreligious Council congratulates President-elect Dr. Samora Kamara, not from AYV. The one we get, this election would be one of the best ever conducted in Sierra Leone. Now, income from AYV. Look at, we not just want to put the soft copy on screen because now we say, okay, this I don't go change it quick, but this is what we printed. It's not possible for logo print in the last 5 minutes. This is what we printed. Please, yeah, make we get that fact. And so one for also respect the people away there online. We get thousands, by the way, online watching us right now. People are following. People want to know what is happening with our elections. How are the results panning out? We'll bring that to us. We get them from the ECSL. Just quick one. Follow. We run through some messages. By the grace of God, President Bill is going to win this election hands down with no runoff. Okay, that's from Suleiman Kamara. Aun Oluzubairu, that is not in, I can't go through that message right now. Please, Sierra Leoneans, do not listen to, I don't know who he was referring to. What time is the result going to be called? Mohamed Kurma. We don't have a specific time. ECSL not give time yet. And I made the chairman from NACSID, they say. They plead to the chairman for come out, even not just with the presidential result. ECSL is the only authorized body to announce the election results. Suleiman Kamara, thank you very much for that. Well done and bless you, man, too. Much fake news and false information out there. James Dominic Tucker is saying, Samuel A. Kamara is saying we already for no Dr. Samuel Kamara is an ex-president. Okay, that's the power of democracy. The results are not yet out. Please let us respect the process. Abu Bangura, thank you very much for that. And we have good morning, Samawise Bangura. When they call results, I don't answer that. We don't know when they call results. They wait. That is why we get an established studio at the command center outside the elections are being run from the Freetown International Conference Center and Bintuman inside Aberdeen. Also, we get all the elections management bodies, the Ecsl the Political Parties Regulation Commission the security sector the judiciary self gets the units just so that AY self go establish an ultra modern studio for ensuring we bring on a live as we don't do since the eve of the elections. We don't broadcast from there. And we not only tap we go back now at the Simblu and establish a studio because at the Simblu, they host the international elections observers, then we come. And they get press conference today, where we also go for bring live. So the team then are at the Simblu set, and so don't always the link with our different studios, including the regions them. We don't monitor the tallying processes now the different regional tallying centers then as the Ecsl operates. So one for Dudandi. And now Mosiri Jana is saying, congratulations to the people of Mama Salon. We have one of the best democratic elections in Africa. When is ECSL going to call it? So these are the most interesting questions. We have hundreds. So we get quickly, now take a breaking news. Let's quickly take a breaking news and Gona Bintumani and Usai Amadou Lamranaba, they can talk to the Chief Electoral Commissioner now. So let me quickly go na Bintumani and take Amadou Lamranaba as he gets the Chief Electoral Commissioner. We double forbid the National Returning Officer, the man with the box stops with at this point. We get all the power. Where every Sierra Leonean they look up forward to now and want for listening to every word with the commoner emote at this time. Let me quickly go now Bintumani and join the team.
System as well, na the provinces where they link between. Good morning and welcome from the studios na the Freetown International Conference Center na Bintumani. Me na Amadou Lamranaba and I get the pleasure for welcome the National Returning Officer. One of you staff then tell me then this year say you title launching. From chairman now, the National Returning Officer. Welcome to AYV, Mohamed Kennery Kone. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Lamarana. Thank you, Sierra Leone. Good morning, Sierra Leoneans.
It is a pleasure having you and every other Sierra Leonean, everybody across the world and this country, they look forward for hearing from you. And it's a pleasure that you're speaking to AYV first. There are a lot of issues going on. Last night, there have been press releases from international observers, the EU, Carter Center, AU, ECOWAS, talking about tallying, credibility in the process. Will you want to react to the issue of tallying, where the main opposition, APC, self don't raise?
Yeah, first, I want to tell Sierra Leone and say, tally, we started on yesterday, 10 o'clock. Across the country, we do the tally in Freetown, now with data warehouse, now Wellington. We do on a Kenema, now we regional office. We do on a Bo, now we regional office. We also do on a Poloko, now regional office, and then we do on a Makeni, our regional office. So we get currently staff then they work 24/7. The tally they go on. So far, in terms of the results, the Tally Center, I would say about 95% of the results, they're all in at the Tally Center now in the various regions. Which means progress on they make in terms of the collections of the results, and the Tally itself, they go on. Before we start the Tally yesterday, we have been received a call from the All People's Congress that because we give every political party 2 representatives for day at each point in time.
For observe.
And how the process they go, we get 2 sets of entry class or entry areas. You get the first entry area where they come with the result reconciliation form in the inside T-bag. Then they open their results, they wait inside that T-bag. Take care of the first entry point. That entry point, you get over about 4 staff. Each of them staff, and then they distribute the form to them separately. You get your set where you don't input the details where they on that result reconciliation form. And what we call result reconciliation form. And they give the number of ballots where they give at each station, then the number of ballots where they use, and the number of ballots where the party they get. At the end of the day, they get for check what's in their vote, what's in party they get, which one are the void vote for equal to the number of ballots we receive. So then we clock there, the entry clock there, then they enter their figure in the electronic on the computer. When they don't enter, if all things correct, they give you green light mark on the computer. Then they take now the other set of the second entry, then they're the other part of the building. If you go to the warehouse, I'm sure we'll staff it.
Yeah, now Wellington.
So then they're the other side of the building. They not even communicate with waiting they happen at the first side. So when they don't enter, if you agree with waiting that person they enter, it give clearance that result is authentic. For political parties, we create the kind of shield with a glass, with transparent. Political parties, observers, they all day, then they see what they happen from yonder. So the questions where they ask you, one of the questions that I received from the All People's Congress yesterday, from the Secretary General, that we for project the results. So the question I ask, first, this procedure now be done they use over the period. It's not a new thing. It happened in 2012, it happened in 2018. So now the same procedure, we will get the entry clerk then, where political party then sit down, then go see the way they under, not to make a construct out. Now for the purposes of the tally.
For project the results, they mean for use projector for
now they can't do that one day. It's not possible for me to project results because you get about 8 people they enter. So if you the project, which one you get for project? It means we for don't prepare, we put computer, we put projectors, each one will enter a reflect. So that's not possible for me.
But the political party then been no say this not get for happen because like you mentioned yesterday when I've been done the use them now other by elections them where you've been come. You've been making clear to them say no, we're not going to do this because of the number of result them will get for.
The procedure we prepare, we invite political parties there, we tell them clearly say we not the project because it's not possible. The system not good for me to project. They know. Why would they do during the by-elections? Because now one election, then they easy for them enter and one person they enter and they reflect on the wall. But we not get that system and will not prepare the system and will be told that they will not the project. However, as with the input, we go restarting points, we can print out the results and give it. Now make even among the staff that will recruit, you get the query staff. If political party will don't give them the data, then they get question on a particular station, they can go to that query staff. I want to see this entry. Then they will go to that machine, which side they do that entry there, or they go to the system, they put that entry. If they get issue with her, then we address her. So that's the procedure, that's the opportunity that they get.
Okay.
If you say, again, if other question is, they know they see how they enter. It means we therefore put each of the entry level, the 8, you just forget 13 political parties, get for sit down around their staff then they where they enter on a computer. So that's also not possible.
Okay, let's read this press release quick from the European Union Observer Mission. They say the European Union Elections Observation Mission, EUM, is concerned about the ongoing tabulation process. And in quotes, considering the highly polarized political environment and prevailing mistrust, it is imperative that the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone provides full transparency during the tabulation of results in order to ensure confidence and trust in the electoral process. That now the EU-EOM Chief Observer Evan Insa said, and in addition, we stress the importance for all observers to have an unimpeded access to critical stages of the tabulation, including intake of results, forms, and data entry. The EU-EOM observers are present in all the regional tally centers and follows the development.
Okay, I don't watch that statement. What I would say, EU, not only EU, you get over 10 observers within an audience center. So if EU, they say they forget access to the intake, it means we get for go provide chair for all observers, for all political parties at each desk beside they do the entry, which is not possible. Therefore, what we will do, we ensure say we make provision for let them go sit down, which side they see that they enter. They know they see Once they come out with paper other side, the agents then they say who say the results then pack inside the tea bag. Then they see where they take that tea bag there from which side they come to the side which side and they open and check. Then they see back which side and they go give the clerk. So which transparency again when they ask for?
Okay,
they say the transparency when they ask for now for make access for let people then go and observe the process.
Okay.
So we say we don't make available for the first time, then they confirm say then they are all center as part of the openness.
Let read one other quick one from the AU and ECOWAS mission. They say the ECOWAS and African Union Observer mission, missions to Sierra Leone general elections of 24th June 2021. Commend the people of Sierra Leone for the commitment to democracy and their civic duties by turning out to vote, express admiration for the voters' discipline and the peaceful manner they conducted themselves. Urge the people of Sierra Leone, especially the candidates, to exercise patience in the post-election period. Call on the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, CSL, to stand firm and fulfill its duties without succumbing to pressure to uphold the credibility of the institution and be accountable to the people of Sierra Leone. Further call on the ECSL to undertake the tabulation process expediently and transparently without the provided time frame. And the final one, express concern at the announcement of an official result by some political actors and individuals, and in this regard, urge all stakeholders to refrain from such action. And as such, reiterate that the ECSL is the only body authorized by the Constitution and laws of Sierra Leone to announce the results. Now, Dr. Mohamed Ibn Chambers and the former Prime Minister of Ethiopia had signed this press statement. Are you under pressure?
If I've been under pressure, like I don't announce the results. But because I want to let the results be, they go through the process and procedure, so at the end of the day will be accepted. Now that's maybe they take the time for do. I just come get meeting with EU, the Commonwealth, and the ECOWAS. That these are the experts observer then, where they identify issues, call the responsible authority for explain the rationale. Before we get the meeting, let's say we don't get this perception, say it's possible for me to do projection, or it's possible for let the party then what they demand. Now don't I explain to them? Now they say, now we get this information clearly. So it means if we interact, and they call on the All People's Congress, we can consider from yesterday when I wake up, now begin get conversation with them on the tally process and why we not the project. To the extent I even allow the Secretary General for going to the data warehouse. They go there, they go see all how the process they go. Wait, come on, they not call me again whether he was satisfied or not.
But you don't conversation with the APC. That is what you're trying to make clear.
Yeah. Okay. Yesterday, I talked to even the running mate of the All People's Congress 2 times. I talked to the Secretary General more than 3 times. Where is still not satisfied, now I say, okay, Secretary General, go now with data warehouse, make it go see how the process they go. And where it go, the regional commissioner begin, again, opportunity to go through the process and see how it go. When he come out and not call me whether he was satisfied, so I think I say they were satisfied with the procedure. And even when I go, I meet other APC representatives. In some of instances, except the 2 political parties, they may get more than the required number. I me get for time, they say, I said, no, we're not accommodate more than 2. Only 2 at a time. I make them provide chair for them with all other observers for me to sit up and focus on what they happen.
What's are this concern about tabulation? The EU says same, the AU, ECOWAS says same, and even Carter Center in the statement says same. And the main opposition said they raise concern about them. What's are the issue with them?
No, you see, now we don't cut off the Carter Center, the AU, the ECOWAS, the Commonwealth, they don't understand. And they expect that when we explain these things to political parties, they will be honest, for tell the truth. But waiting, then they go tell the observers a different from waiting now the reality. So the concern where they raise, as in they raise and they go to them observers, they go tell them and say, now this they happen. But the unfortunate thing is, like the EU, they are their center and they watch. So if they say now for get access to the intake, no, an officer that's a reasonable demand. You know how many political parties they will get? You know how many observers they will get? So which means each observer get for go to the near the clerk there. Wait, take this from the car with where they enter a see a verifier. So it means you're going to have over 15 people per 1 desk, which is not practical. So what we will provide for, we will not enter, will they give printouts to political parties? If we then get query by any of the centers, then we'll go to that query staff, then we'll go request, say, we want for see this. then the staff then go pull up and show them.
With over 90%, as you mentioned,
They don't receive.
where they
na the
don't
regional
receive. Yes.
sender.
So when Sierra Leoneans for expect you, yesterday you say this now you tell now you the law give the power, let people allow you for enjoy that.
No, I don't tire with the power now.
You don't tire?
I don't tire with the power.
So with all seriousness, are you tired with this? Is it that the pressure is too much on you?
No, I mean, what you say at the talk at this mind, like what's in the Commonwealth or the African Union say, if pressure come, I succumb to her, and they do the wrong thing.
Okay.
So they make sure say the pressure high they can, me say they follow the due process. And the due process now get for give credibility to the outcome. So the pressure may they continue for pilot. But we
And
say
you're
they
getting
take
pressure.
Time. Of course, then say for I mean if the two parties they don't begin call say this one win, you know, so many people they call try release results. These are our pressure in one way or the other. However, the promise to Sierra Leoneans, would they go through the process and make sure say we reduce the anxiety. We anticipate it today from here they go to the warehouse. Let's see what they don't do so far. Maybe by end of the day, we'll come out with some amount of results to the public. Let them see how the process what's in this situation.
Earlier, you've been saying this process on the expedite time. When Sierra Leoneans forget the final announcement of this process for the presidency?
Let them give me 48 more hours.
You go announce that before.
Let them give me
in the election.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we want to tell you plenty thank you. Perhaps you get a message we want left with Sierra Leoneans and the political parties as well as the observers.
Political parties are available for discussion and available for explaining the processes. Let us avoid giving false hope to our supporters as they say, and we don't win. Let us avoid putting the ECSL staff as a target because during the poll, as I read out yesterday, a lot of our staff, they attack them because of suspicion. And what will they do? The national sacrifice, and we only do contribution what they do. Sierra Leoneans, I want to believe, say, the same procedure, this tally will they do so. The same procedure and processes will be used 2012. Now, the same procedure will be used 2018. 2012, where APC be in power. 2018, where APC be in power. Now, the same procedure and processes will they follow. If that time they then be sit up behind the shield, behind that glass, they then they observe how the process they go, they accept it. Let them accept it and believe say the same process will they do, may they also trust it, again for come out with the required results. ECSL will they do with best. Day and night, we start then they work. And we don't work very hard for get to this point. But the fact that we do peaceful elections, this result will come on SAFU, we jubilate SAFU as a Sierra Leonean.
And at the end of this, you'll have no regrets.
Nothing. Go.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mohamed Kenewi Kone. That's the national returning officer. He say the people of Sierra Leone and across the world, people away they anticipate for the results. Give 48 hours, they go announce who that win this election. So this is your home of credible, factual, and all-time balanced news. We bring you live broadcast from Bintumani Conference Center, and we talk to the authorities and people them way matter. We can talk to the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion. We'll take a quick break, but thanks very much for joining us, and we wish you all the best.
It's a pleasure. Thank you
very much.
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
With Talking Points platform, you can dive into thought-provoking discussions, connect with like-minded individuals, and broaden your horizons. Be among the first to know the latest happenings in Sierra Leone. Join us today, subscribe, on YouTube, TPP Leone. Like our page, on Facebook, at Talking Points platform. It's your voice, you are in control. We believe in you. Subscribe now. Like our page. We love you.
All right, welcome back. At least we don't get Mr. Chairman with a call for Mohamed Kone come out with a statement on the results. Now we don't always see today. It go na the talent center for what see what they don't do so far, and hopefully it might come out with some of the results later in the day. But in terms of final announcements, let's allow people give 48 hours. So we're expecting him to come out either on Wednesday with the results. I mean, what thing is bring now to the process?
Well, policy about hope. You don't make now whether in your own temperature they rise, it rise. You don't tell we say they go check. They do. I mean go check. Where police when I get escorts, many man go check one time. They come back to you. No. We just want to know one for see. Now make the tension reduce. I'm glad they say when I don't send people in a ticket, men go see how. Some people for pull up on this policy, they are not dump on. They don't exercise them, franchise, and don't vote. Do you want to work for benefit from this year now? Maybe between them and the ECSL, the returning officer, and the security forces. Many said they on standby. May nobody not bring the barupa this business here. So we just go continue for preach peace and talk to people of Sierra Leone. Do you wanna respect una self, wanna respect una country? Because what you say respect una self, now you franchise, now you don't get to express so. Would that ever win now for country? Do you more no make plaba with neighbor them, we to consider we to brand them for sake of politics. Politics they done, now we they left to ourselves.
Okay. Well, I think we need to go back straight to Bintumani. Let we join again Amadou Lamanaba as he gets the commissioner for the National Commission for Peace and Cohesion. Follow we discuss what that they mean to the peace. Amadou, welcome again.
TV on channel 399. We're on radio on FM 11.7 and same way to the stream live. Now we website www.ayvnews.com. And also now we Facebook page, AYV News. And you follow we now we social media platforms. We continue with the conversation live from the studio 1 year at the Freetown International Conference Center at Bintumani. When at the command center, Usai, ECSL Day, the Peace Commission Day, the PPRC Day, the Human Rights Commission, and other stakeholders in this election day for the give updates and information as things in the happen. We get Reverend Todanke Johnson, where we are chairman of the Board of Commissioners of the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion. Good morning, sir, and welcome. Good morning. Cohesion is very important. We don't go into a campaign period. We've been very tense. When I come out and mediate, when I even mediate between the Electoral Commission, the main opposition APC, and the PPRC as well. And when I don't try for the preach out peace messages, we get a program where they do it now we call Peace Platform now AYV as well. But we're at a moment where a lot of emotions they go around. A lot of people are waiting to hear from the Electoral Commission. Yesterday we get a situation where the APC allegedly say somebody was killed at their party office. Their party office was attacked. The presidential candidate's tweets and sent out information say it was under attack by military officers, police officers at the party office. Waiting at the role of the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion at this time.
Well, I think we role not really done different from the way we don't play. We just try for intensify. Because the peace message, we don't make a framework of the peace message. The peace message out there, we get peace monitors them, all the districts them, we get peace mediators them all over the place. And one of the things we would try to do is we engage the political parties them, that then get their own part for play. We the try to make sure to arbitrate the peace. We're not that the commission did for. But at the same time, you see, every one of we get to make a sacrifice on the altar of peace. For make peace happen, also one person. We all get a sacrifice for make. And when they appeal to the political parties, they may they also make their own sacrifice for peace. We don't come so far. I mean, we don't try as Sierra Leoneans, we need to commend ourselves, but we don't allow in this moment for more we spoil all waiting, we don't try to do. And so part of what we do right now for continue to appeal to the political parties, the leaders, them, the other peace actors, them, and other, we get shadow people, them, leaders, them, we also involved. We make an appeal to them, and other stakeholders, that we all get to make sure we consolidate the peace so don't fight for. And that peace commission, they do so, they try to even get, we already don't get a report from the APC from yesterday. We want to verify them because we don't want to talk something where we don't know the details.
Okay.
And I believe, say, we don't even verify the things that will happen, both from the police and your own side. We don't get your opinion. We don't get what happen. So part of what to the travel, do not bring a message again and extend, again to the APC, the SLPP, and all the other political parties.
At this time, there is that need for engagement, dialogue, and a show of leadership. At any point, when the try forget the political leaders for come out with statements, for speak to them, supporters them on how we for maintain peace as everybody they wait for the result.
Exactly that. If 2 days ago, now we don't begin for try forget to them. There are times there are layers for me forget to them, so that then go come up and continue to drum up this peace message and talk to the supporters and make them be calm, make them wait. No matter waiting at the result, they fly all yonder. It not will be authentic. The true results and the people the way they don't get the power. Now the ECSL. So let we wait. Let we emotions and we control emotions and wait until the ECSL bring the result out. Then would that they celebrate, go celebrate. Would that say get issues, then go according to the ambit of the law. And so we try that and we continue to push that. And as we speak today, part of we goal now for engage again. Anyone will go
because
forget.
the chairman said the national returning officer say in the next 48 hours he'll be announcing the results.
Yes, the issue here is that 48 hours seems to be short, but it seems to be long for some people. Then. Because right now, some people, the pressure level don't high. But what do they say today is that lower that pressure level, and there's nothing you could do because not within your own power, but may you call the results the way they want to call them. May they take the time do them and call the results. But in between that, as peace monitors, as Commission we stand for peace, we continue to send the peace message, engage in the dialogue, encourage people to tell and say, hey, let we make sure that we allow peace for reign. Because without that, then this whole thing, it will just throw them into a big flame.
Okay. Una get a situation room na ya. Una get peace monitors them, una get una they receive call. Waiting now una assessment so far. Elections day, post-elections, we don't talk about waiting happened allegedly the killing of someone at the APC office yesterday. Waiting now una general assessment so far.
Well, general assessment is that the thing, at least in Western area especially, we will get some hitch in some few areas then based on the calls that they come in, we will get some hitch. I mean, like late opening of the polling stations and polling materials. And then, of course, there were issues of ballot stuffing where after we verify it was not true. There are issues in there. But the fact here is that right now, the issue happened yesterday. Then the issue they try for kind of, we don't talk to the police. They don't give you their own side. I'll be there 98.1 this morning. The police, they report and give at the same day.
Yeah, they don't fire gunshot.
They said they don't even get any record of somebody they don't report, either in a mortuary or to them, say somebody don't die, up to the time when they go on air. Well, we want to make sure with the same we monitor to see if this person died.
In this situation as well, how do they engage the security forces, the security sector, for understand, say, themselves get a role for play in maintaining peace, in their actions, in how then they control political parties, mainly, especially the main opposition, where the accused come out yesterday. How do they engage them for understand how they say for engage the public or supporters of political parties for ensure, say, peace continue for them?
I want to be very sincere. All throughout this situation, especially me, when I call the Inspector General, just one call, he pick every call and give you a status and talk to them. Even the day where their protest be day, I call them. He tell me the your side and what they're going to do. Even when this thing don't happen, so the moment I get the alert, I enforce a call for able to talk to them and explain which that time the action they on already, which thing they happen. But he can always say we go do level best for be professional in what they do, and that now we appeal to them. But be professional in what they do, so that at the end of the day, they will not be found wanting. And that now we appeal to them. The ONS, now the same, yesterday they gave your report now, yeah, that they do everything for be professional. And so far, they don't try to be professional. But we see the try to say, let them continue to be professional, exercise all the patience, and make sure they really stretch themselves to a point, until they even engage anything. Because they say that they engage, like yesterday, they say, based on them, that they engage first over and again, but when the situation not seems to be they know it for control. That's why they use tear gas.
Okay.
That not be the report.
Okay, Reverend. Finally, we still wait for this result in 48 hours, but waiting you go on left with salon people on the importance and need for peace as we only wait for no other win this election.
One of the things I want to appeal is that let we patient and wait for the body where the government we don't get the rights for calling results there. We impatience not going to solve any problem now. Now the normal would they look. And number two, let we understand, say, now this one gets salon gets. If we blow them off, like some man they say, let we blow off, we don't get other side we go. We'll go there, we'll call refugee them, immigrants them, and it might not be okay. And we don't believe that not going to happen. Number three, we are all family members. We are interrelated. We get intermarriages them. And please, that tolerance we don't do before, let the election not blow away. And let we exercise patience. At the end of the day, it is Sierra Leone that is going to win.
Okay, thank you very much, Reverend. It's definitely Sierra Leone that is going to win. And we all believe, say, for maintain the peace. And as we wait, the ECSL commissioner don't confirm exclusively to AYV, say, in 48 hours, they go announce who that win this election. And you will get all the information from AYV as we there at the Bintumani Conference Center, outside we bring you live updates and information as things and they happen. We'll therefore join the PPRC for the press conference and later the ECSL as well. But for now, let me join with colleague back, Samuel Wise Bangura, as he at the studio.
Thank you.
Many thanks to Amadou Lamranaba for the interviews that the way it don't get done with the Chief Electoral Commissioner. We double as a National Returning Officer, Mohammed K. Kone. We come out with clearly waiting salon people don't they ask since this morning when they go announce the results. Don't they say they go check today at the tallying center for no wait don't come inside and perhaps might come out with some results later in the day. But make we as salon people get 48 hours for come out with the results. I mean, you don't. This is very clear, and you also address the issue with the opposition APC raise. We get for do with the projection of the results, and they say the votes then too many, and will not get the capacity for project all of them. So it always some of those issues and how we in contact with the politicians, including the opposition politicians. They mentioned the running mates, Honorable Chano Ramadan Majuba. They mentioned the Secretary General, Lawyer Lansana Dumbuya, and how then they talk and go on with the process. But again, let we go now PZ, the central part of Freetown. Let we check the environment, the atmosphere, how it like as people anticipate the results. Matia, tell me what's in the happen yonder.
Wholesale, it makes an open and it don't buy and it also don't kind of for send mobile money. And we don't hear we don't call on Sierra Leoneans and say then for come out. We don't vote done since Saturday. Sunday people are on the house. Today is Monday. We're expecting now they go to office for their about the normal business. We'd expect that they do business for also come out and do their normal business. As you can see, we don't in our office for the past 3-4 days, sleeping all day. We are across for ensure say we give the right information to people. We give the right information to people. We want people for understand say we all as media now for portray the positive aspects of what's in the happen at the country. Social media gets boku negative talk, but the only side you can cross check, you get credible sources. The media are available for that day. You can listen to radio, you can watch your television, you can read your newspaper, and newspaper then non come out today this Monday morning. So we don't tell you say it's a normal day. If newspaper not come out, no say a holiday or it is not normal. But newspapers and they out, and people and they sell, people and they buy, people and they read. So from PZ Naya, this now the mood way I want for show and I want for tell you. We go on for make way also to other places them within the central business district of Freetown and give you the mood as it is.
Plenty thank you, Mokari Matia for gauging the atmosphere, telling us what is happening around Freetown for know whether or not we don't come back to normalcy as a people, as a nation. And this now Sierra Leone Decides program will come to you live from AYV Television on channel 43, on DSTV channel 399, on radio FM 101.7 and all with different social media platforms. We, like I mentioned earlier, we intermittently get for the link with different studios from across. Now, Bintumani, now Radisson Blue, on the streets, the regions, for really tell we and Big Tone are waiting the happen as we await the announcement of the results. And Again, I go back for telling us say, fake news don't plenty, disinformation don't plenty, misinformation don't plenty. So do ya, when you see anything, and it's so easy for you actually spot fake. This is the original Africa Young Voices Media Empire newspaper front page. These parts where them bad people don't go use, they don't go pull and put different headline. They beyond where we print, the one where we put out say this election will be one of the best ever conducted in Sierra Leone, and that's a statement from the Chief Electoral Commissioner Mohammed K. Kone, where we publish, where we print out. But then the bad people who have for create problem in this country. Like the Chief Electoral Commissioner don't say it go come for announce result, log in 48 hours. But since even today later, they go come with something them for go out. And like we already be done publish, we already be done put out now with screen. The graphics, how the presidential candidates and the regions, as the results and they come now, so we get for the populator, so that on see exactly. But remember, say the only result that we get for populating graphics and they with, and the one that we they come out from the Chief Electoral Commissioner, the man with the box stops with. So let's go back to Bintumani now and join the team as the Political Parties Regulation Commission gets a press briefing for the nation. Let's go.
And the commissioner representing the Bar Association, Commissioner Christian Sawyer, and the commissioner representing the Labour Congress, Alhaji Mukhtar Babatunde Williams, and we have the Executive Secretary, Mr. Olusogo A. David, and the chairman of the Peace Commission. I also want to once again welcome you to this press briefing, and we'll hand over the mic to the chairman for his statement. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Step 6. After casting your ballots, your thumb or finger will be marked with indelible ink.
I'm not as tall as you. Yeah, thank you very much, and good morning, everybody, colleague commissioners, and the chairman of the Peace Commission. We're here this morning to give you our own updates on our observation during the June 24, 2023 polls. As you may be aware, principally our responsibility normally is largely before and after the election. On polling day, like every other person, we are basically observers. We go there to observe because we'll have done our job to ensure that we prepare the enabling environment for the ECSL to conduct their job. So in keeping with that statutory responsibility to ensure that we observe the process, we were also on the field. We deployed commissioners. Myself and my colleague commissioners were all in the field, and all of our permanent staff and the ad hoc staff that we are recruited for us by IDS International. And also we have some youth corps that's given to us by the Youth Commission. All of those we deployed in the field, and therefore we had presence in all of the districts and in most of the polling stations. We were there to observe basically the conduct of the elections, and also we are keen at observing the comportment of our constituents, the political parties, and the electorates that went out there to cast their ballots. And generally, we observed that the ECSL staff, both permanent and ad hoc, were very professional in terms of them being very responsive to all the observers that were on the field. I mean, all the questions we posed to them, they were able to answer, and maybe all the intervention we made, they had hired too, in terms of, for instance, assisting women who were pregnant, not to be on the line, lactating mothers, and people with disability. They were ready and willing to cooperate with our observation. So we will want to commend the ECSL that the staff were very professional in the conduct of the elections. And generally, the polling stations, a good number of them open on time. I would say if I can give a percentage to that, maybe 95 to 96% of the polling stations open on time. We had a few delays in the Western urban and Western rural, But we also observed that subsequently polling started in those places, and the ECSL, to compensate for the lost time, they extended the voting time, and in some of those polling stations, we observed that they voted on to 11 p.m., and that everybody who came out to vote was able to cast his or her ballots without any problem. So aside from those few stations in the Western Urban and Western Rural, voting commenced on time, and the electorate came out to cast their ballots. And one thing we have also observed that although it's natural, but we find out that even the weather was very hospitable and clement. After voting in Freetown as chairman of the commission, I traveled up the provinces to continue to observe the process. Went to Makeni, through Yile, Bo, and then Kenima. And in all of those places that I went, the weather was very nice with our people. At least our people did not have the misfortune of having to vote on the rain. So it will seem that even nature was in favor of the conduct of these elections, and the people came out to exercise their franchise. The turnout was very impressive. It is not within our mandate to give a percentage on the turnout, but all we can say is we saw very long lines. I mean, people lining up to cast their ballots. So in our view, we think that this turnout was very, very impressive. The percentage is for the ECSL to tell us when eventually they will come out with their own details. And another thing we observed that was very impressive was the fact that the electorate were very, very patient in their lines, and they were very orderly. I didn't see anywhere in the provinces that I went to where there were skirmishes. People patiently stood in the line, and they waited for their turn to go into the polling stations and cast their ballots. So we will want to commend the general public for being so orderly and for being very comporting whilst they went out to exercise their franchise. And for our constituents, the political parties also, generally the comportment was substantially okay. And we had a few incidents, principally in Makeni and Lunsar, where we saw that some ECSL staff were attacked and some of them beaten, and the vehicle carrying polling materials, I think it was in Lunsar or so, was also attacked. But aside from those few incidents that we observed, we also noted that the political parties and their supporters were very comporting, and we want to commend the leadership and supporters of all political parties for that. And we look forward to them continuing in that trajectory. And polling is over, and all of us are patiently waiting for the outcome of the elections. And we all know that the people of this country, they have only one mouthpiece. The statutory mouthpiece of our people is the National Returning Officer. He is the only person that is conferred the authority to pronounce the outcome of an election. Nobody else has that authority. So we are very concerned that we are seeing on social media that people are beginning to publish the results even before those results are announced by ECSL. We will appeal to all and sundry to continue to exercise restraint and to continue to be law-abiding and wait for the body charged with that responsibility to tell us the verdict of the people. I think people publishing results on social media, in our view, I mean, some of those results they are publishing are intended to ferment dissent, and maybe they are stoking conflict. And we think that each and every Sierra Leonean has a duty to this country. We have a duty to and state officials. We will continue to do what we can. We will continue to engage. We will continue to admonish. But at least those that we engage in this country, let us all know that we have only one country, and that country is Mama Salon. God forbid it didn't happen in this country, you and I will not have anywhere that we owe it to ourselves to ensure that we keep the peace and we help to maintain the peace that we have enjoyed all this time. So we continue to appeal to political parties, the candidates, supporters, to refrain from pronouncing results even before the official announcement of those results is made by the ECSL. You've been very patient in your lines that when you went out to vote, let us continue to be patient and wait. I mean, we've waited for 5 years. And then came Saturday, we were all out there to cast our ballot. We did cast our ballot, and I don't think a few more hours waiting for the relevant authority to make a pronouncement of the outcome will kill us. It will not kill us. And they also have to be very careful and be very, very professional in the tabulation of those results. So I don't think anybody trying, either expressly or impliedly, trying to hassle them into announcing the result, that will not be helpful to the peace of this country. So we continue to admonish you, all of us, that let us act saloon. Saloon pass we all. We'll not get any other place where we call home. This is the only home we have. And therefore, let our conduct be reflective of the best interests of this country. Let us all wait. When the results are announced, again, those of you who will win or whose political parties will win, we entreat you to celebrate responsibly. We will not want to see the kind of celebrations you used to have when people will use pot cover, then you go to your neighbor's compound and you start to hit those pot covers, or maybe in front of that house, just to provoke the neighbor that you think was on the other side. I don't think that will all go well. When you are successful in any contest, I think you should be magnanimous enough to encourage whosoever you contested with and who is not fortunate to win, to continue to be your partner in development and not to provoke and maybe fan the flames of dissent. So we plead with whosoever will emerge the winner. It is Saloon that has won. Let us, all of us, whatever side of the divide you are, if you are fortunate to win, celebrate responsibly. Don't celebrate in a manner that will provoke the other person into anger. So let us all be mindful of that. And those who may not be fortunate to win will continue to encourage you to follow the law. Use the due process to register your grievances. If you are aggrieved by the conduct or the outcome of the elections, there are established procedures that you can follow to seek redress. Let us don't take the law in our hands, and let us continue to be peaceful. So by and large, on behalf of the Commission, we will want to commend the ECSL and the political parties, the electorate that came out for this very, 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 very enviable feat, electoral feat that we have all achieved collectively. And we hope that this, in a very big way, will help to cement your democratic credentials that people are beginning to know us for in this country. And please continue to be patient and continue to wait for the ECSL. On behalf of the Commission, I want to welcome all of you, and I thank you for being here at a very short notice. At this juncture, I will ask the chairman for the Peace Commission to make a few statements. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, the chair for the PPRC. We want to start by commending all of us, because when we look at the political landscape and what we have done collectively, I think we need to commend ourselves for coming this far. Especially, I want to commend the media with the power that you carry, the power of the pen, the power of the cameras, standing behind that camera, and the power, of the mic. It can be destructive if you want to, but you have exercised the greatest maturity. You have really shown professionalism. You have become one of the vehicles that has helped us to be where we are today in terms of peace, and want to commend you. We want to commend the political parties also for exercising, to a greater extent, patience and tolerance. We want to commend the SLP To be very honest, I know we cried them down, but we have been, I will really talk about the IG particularly. Anytime I call him first call, he picks up the call. And you know, to be in that kind of position and you're still picking calls, it speaks volume. Some of us know what leadership means, but we pick the call. If he's not aware of a situation, he will say, "Give me time to get an information," and he gets back to us. Even for yesterday, he was able to do that. And so I want to commend them, the MACP and the police, the ONS, and every other person, the Peace Commission, for what we have done collectively. And Sierra Leoneans, we need to commend ourselves. This is a democracy. It's a young democracy, but we have made a lot of progress. We have made a lot of progress, and we hope that we'll be able to maintain that progress to the very end. There are a few concerns that have been raised by the chair of the PPRC. Those concerns are the same. It runs through the political spectrum. We have encouraged people that, especially for now, the concerns, of course, of the polymateria showing up late and all of that, we've passed that stage now, but we are talking now about why we are waiting, this period of waiting. Emotions are rising up, and we want to talk to people, calm down your emotion, because your emotion is not going to force the ECSL to call the results. They have system, they have a way to go through it, and we want you to calm down your emotions. Whatever calculations you have done, know that yes, you have the right to do your calculation, but your calculation cannot be justified by law. So keep your calculation. If you are using it as a way to encourage your members, but just to know that if the right calculation come and it's invariant with your own calculation, then that's going to create a problem. It is a trigger for problem. So we have to make sure we are appealing to all political parties. All political parties, please keep your calculation. Whether you have the best system than ECSL, that you have electronically, your own machine is good, keep it. Because the law has given them the right to call the results. So let's please wait for them. And also we have to avoid languages that will trigger confusion, languages that will trigger chaos. Let's avoid those languages. You know, let's just wait. The only thing we can do now, honestly, is to wait. And that is what we are saying. Those are the concerns we have, because there are a lot of people that still have rhetorics that they are saying on the social media. And also the concern is that, please, social media is a powerful platform, but also it can be highly dangerous. That's why we have groups that verify information. Let information be verified. And I also want all of us to know there are some people on social media, they just want to throw in confusion. That's what they're doing. They will just throw in something. They know exactly where they're going, but they will throw in some issues. So make sure you don't swallow everything. Don't swallow what you, just make sure you verify the issues. It is very important to verify the issues. There are a lot of things I read in social media, I will just laugh because I know the person is just trying to create fun, but other people will take it as a gospel truth. And so I want to appeal to people, please verify information. There are people you can verify from. Those abroad is the same. Some of us, we don't sleep till 2. People are calling us from abroad. So please calm down. Wherever you are, Sierra Leoneans all around the world, please calm down. We need to calm down so that your blood pressure will not rise up and something else happen. Let's calm down and wait. And as Peace Commission, we want to make an appeal. We want to make an appeal to everyone. We have peace monitors all over in the district. We have mediators. We are really appealing to all of us. Please, we need to maintain the peace. And for peace to be maintained, every one of us have to sacrifice some rights on the altar of peace. Every one of us have to sacrifice some rights on the altar of peace for peace to be maintained. Peace Commission alone cannot do it. PPRC alone cannot do it. The SLP alone cannot do it. But all of us, every Sierra Leonean, we need to sacrifice some rights, like the right of waiting right now. You want to know, it's your rights, but you have to sacrifice it on the altar of peace so that peace will reign. I learned something many years ago that has become, that I have used. I want us to know that the success of today is the sum total of the sacrifices of yesterday. The success of today is the sum total of the sacrifices of yesterday. And so that means whatever we've done today is because of the sacrifices we made yesterday. And whatever we're going to do tomorrow is going to depend on the sacrifice we're going to make today. So I want to appeal to every one of us. Let us make that sacrifice. I want to close as I continue to encourage people. I'm a person that speaks with so much I am an African, so I have so many African stories. And I just want to end with this African story. There was a farmer who planted peanuts. He planted this peanut, and there was a squirrel who always come to eat the peanut. This farmer did everything to trap the squirrel, but the farmer was not able to trap the squirrel. So finally, the farmer became annoyed. He uprooted, he harvested all the granite and put the granite on himself. He was lying down under the granite just to catch the squirrel. When the squirrel came and the squirrel saw the granite, the squirrel looked at the granite. He looked at the granite, and the squirrel was a Sierra Leonean and a Creole. And the squirrel said, Motaman na Motaman. Motaman na Motaman. So the squirrel, but he loves granuts. So the squirrel went and took some granite. He ate some granite. Whenever the sweet taste of the granite is, he will look at the thing and he will say, Motaman na Motaman. He kept on doing that until he has completed. He ate all the granite. The only granite remaining was the one in the palm of the man. The man was still lying down pretending he's dead. The squirrel looked at the eyes of the man. He looked at his eyes, and the squirrel said, Motaman na Motaman. But finally, the squirrel was convinced that the granite is finished. The man is dead. So he jumped on the palm of the man. And when the man realized that the squirrel already on his palm, the man grabbed the squirrel, and the squirrel shouted, Abitokam, Abitokam. Say, Motaman na Motaman. Ladies and gentlemen, let's maintain the peace, because Motaman na Motaman. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman, Peace Commission. We'll now take questions. We take questions. I think we are fine. Are we fine? If there are no questions, the chairman will wrap up.
Oh, well, it's good that we do not have questions, so meaning that the message went on or went down very well. I would also want to join my colleague from the Peace Commission to commend the security sector actors, particularly the ONS and the police. I also think that they did a very tremendous job in terms of making available security personnel in almost all of the polling stations that I went to. And I think the personnel were also very professional in their conduct. It's normal for people to look for reasons to complain. But we also want to remind people that the job people do sometimes can be challenging, and that you will have to appreciate that we are also human beings. We do make mistakes. But whatever you think that we have done and that we ought not to have done, I would want to assure you that it was not deliberate, it is not calculated, maybe it's a mistake if there is anything untoward that we have done. But let us continue to support our institutions. It will not tend to anybody's interest if we continue to weaponize some segment of the public against state institutions and state officials. I don't think it will tend to anybody's interest. And for our partners, we continue to encourage them to be very professional. We all have our responsibility to play, and as Sierra Leoneans, would think that whatever each and every one of us does should be in the interest of the country. So we want to thank everybody that is here and everybody that has contributed to the successful conduct of the polls. And we encourage all of us to continue to support the process and let us wait for the outcome. We will not want to be caught like the squirrel was caught, because as you have heard from the Reverend, mortal man, now mortal man also, people sometimes they come with very vicious information, very vexatious claims about state institutions and state officials just to serve their own purpose. But we expect that. And we're not going to be faced by the pressure. We'll continue to do what the law allows us to do, and we'll continue to see how much we can do to win your confidence and respect. But also, you have a responsibility. All of us have a duty to this country. Let us act Mama Salone, and let us protect this country. I tell you all plenty thank you for coming. And again, let us continue to wait. We're not going to die. These results will be out. And the people's verdicts will be announced. And we'll expect each and every politician to respect the voice of the people. I mean, all of you, as I said yesterday, you were jostling for the mandate of the people. And what you were jostling for does not belong to any of you. It belongs to the people of this country. So if the people of this country choose to give it to any of you, we will expect that the decent thing to do, those who are not opportune to get that mandate should join whosoever will get that mandate to work for the betterment of this country. I thank all of you, and once more, we're grateful for your presence.
Thank you very much. With that, the press conference is ended, and I will ask colleague journalists to stay back. And a short information, if you need any information from the PPLC, we are presently hosted at Bintumani, the Situation Room we're occupying with the Peace Commission. So for any information, please don't go to Tower Hill, because they will send you back to Bintumani. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
From dawn to dusk, and from dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days all year round. This dedicated team is here working industriously to bring you
the facts,
the analysis,
the interviews,
the news,
the views from the ordinary people. We set the agenda. We bring you seamless broadcast.
we cover the happenings.
We give you the angles on the screen.
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
With Talking Points platform. With Talking Points platform, you can dive into thought-provoking discussions, connect with like-minded individuals, and broaden your horizons. Be among the first to know the latest happenings in Sierra Leone. Join us today, subscribe on YouTube, TPP Leone. Like our page on Facebook at Talking Points platform. It's your voice, you are in control. We believe in you. Subscribe now. Like our page. We love you.
We tell the story. We produce the shows.
We commission and ensure the stories are delivered.
We bring you all actions and excitement in